Yo, what's going on, boys? It's your boy Nuke Syndrome, and today I kind of wanted to do a storytime video. I think I'm going to make this kind of the whole point of the channel. I think I'm going to turn this channel into a storytime channel, even though I haven't done a whole lot on this channel. I have a Twitch under this channel name that y'all can go follow. It'd be really appreciated. We play a lot of video games and stuff on there most of the time. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but kind of wanted to do some story time telling about some of my past drug experiences, and please know that I do not condone any of these acts. This is just me being very stupid, back in the day, and sometimes I might still be stupid. You never know. But yeah. So let's get right into this story. This story is about the time I had a pretty bad trip outside of a school on mushrooms. Um, so basically, this the people that were involved in the story, you're going to get to know a lot of these people pretty quickly because they're pretty, you know, uh, good, common characters in a lot of these stories. So I had my homie Caleb, my homie Gabe, and our homie Trey, and this took place. Let's see, I think last year, around like fallish last year, I think either summer or fall, late summer, early fall, somewhere around there. And basically, we started out. We had all linked up. We were all chilling in our friend Gabe's cul-de-sac, and we were like, we need something to do today. We need a way to get fucked up somehow, right? We were bored. We were just sitting out there, just leaning on each other's cars, talking about random shit, God knows what. So we were like, we all got a little bit of money. Let's get some shrooms. Why not? Let's get some shrooms. So we ended up getting. I got 2.5 grams for myself. It was Caleb's first time doing shrooms, by the way. This wasn't my first time. It was like maybe my third or fourth or something like that. This was Caleb's first time, so he has no idea what to expect. So he also gets 2.5. He does end up eating 2.5, but we'll get to that in a minute. Gabe's a little bit of a Gabe's a little scared when it comes to the psychedelic industry, right? He's done some good doses before, but today he only went for the gram. Him and Trey, they were gonna go around longboarding outside of the school. So basically, the way the school's laid out is it's an alternative school. So you have the big building in the center where there's the alternative school, and then around the whole school you have like a road that goes in a circle. So it's perfect for like longboarding or bicycling or whatever that stuff. So Gabe and Trey were gonna go longboarding. Trey didn't end up taking any because he was gonna be driving us there and back. So yeah, so we text our plug. He pulls up. He gives us the goods. And we were those guys today. I'm sorry, I know plugs don't like this shit when you're like, can you bag this 2.5 and then this other 2.5 in this bag? So we were those guys today, but we didn't really give a shit. This guy, he was also a close friend of ours. We knew him personally, so I'm sure he didn't really mind to do that. But so anyways, we get our goods and our all that good stuff, and we get Trey has a scale, and we took a scale, weighed it out to make sure what we had was right, and it was correct. So thank the guy for that. He's not a cheapskate. Um, so we ended up taking our doses. I ended up taking the whole 2.5. I think Caleb, he didn't end up eating his whole 2.5. We estimate that he ate around 2 to 2.1 grams or something like that. He ate most of his bag. He just had a pretty big size cap left in his bag. So we assume he probably ate about 2 grams. We'll go with 2 grams for the sake of the video. So, and then Gabe eats his 1 gram, and not to mention we ate these shrooms raw. And if you've never had shrooms, I don't condone doing them, but if you do them, just be prepared for an awful taste. It tastes like straight cow shit. Okay, it's not that good. So we take our shrooms. Caleb's damn near gagging. I mean, Caleb is not having a good time with these shrooms at all. He is begging Gabe to. He's begging Gabe like, dude, can we please put these on a sandwich? Gabe said, no, you pussy, eat the shrooms the way they are. And not to mention, Gabe's kind of struggling with eating them too. We're all just being dickheads to each other, and so we end up finally taking our shrooms and we leave. We take our shrooms, we get in Trey's car, and we start heading towards the school. Now, we get it's about a I don't know 20-minute drive, give or take, 15 to 25 minutes. I'm not really too sure. So we end up getting there, and I'm starting to come up a little bit. I felt the come up on this trip pretty fast, to be honest. Like we were still in Trey's car driving, and I started feeling like the happiest man on earth. I was just looking out this window like a dog. I was staring out the window. I was just looking at things. I just had the biggest smile on my face. And we were continue driving, listening to music on the way there, and we get there. So we get out of the car, and I'm still coming up really hard at this point. I haven't hit my peak yet, but I am coming up hard and fast. And I'm like, wow, this was a little more than I expected. These shrooms actually were a lot more potent than any of us had expected. We just thought they were going to be, some regular shrooms. Like if I would have known how potent they were, I would have not taken how much I had taken because this was one hell of a day. This was not a great trip, let me tell you guys what. So I'm coming up hard. Me and Caleb just started, walking around. It took him forever to hit Caleb. I don't know what went on with him, but they took at least an hour and a half to really hit him. But they had hit me within the first freaking 20 minutes, man. Like I was sweating. I was walking around this little circle. I was just, whew, it was crazy. Gabe and Trey, they start doing their thing. They go off and they start longboarding, and Gabe's running around and he stops. Dude, this is fucking sick, man. He's having a blast, and I'm walking around and I'm starting to like get to the point where I'm like, was Trey's scale accurate that our plug overpacked me? Like, what is going on? And I'm starting to get really, really high. This was really uncalled for. We were walking around the school, and I remember I just start hearing computer noises. Like this was crazy. I've never had a trip. I've tripped a lot, and I have never had a trip like this ever. I start hearing like computer noises in my head, and I almost just want to like collapse and just like the only thing I just want to glitch out. it was it was something else, man. Let me tell you, I just wanted to just slowly fall to the ground and just glitch out, and it feels like my ears had like insanely popped. Like it felt like I went up like 10,000 feet in elevation or something. Like like my hearing was literally very distorted. It was crazy, and like so we continue walking. I'm not having the best time, and the next feeling that comes upon me was very, very, very weird. Like it was one of those feelings where you're like, so like, how does one actually come down from this type feeling? It was not enjoyable. So basically, what was going on? So it felt like my head, right? Your head's right here, but it felt like the words and things I was thinking was like traveling. It's so hard to explain. It is so hard to explain. I'm trying my best here. So like my head is at my regular height, right? But it feels like all my thoughts are going through my head, but it feels like it's like a foot above my head, if that makes any sense at all. And this was really taking a toll on me. This was playing with me. I was like, okay, this is like not fun. Like it was so intense. I was like, how do I come down from this like level that I'm at? Like I feel like this is like so much. Like this was insane, guys. I'd never in my life had a trip like this. I've taken copious amounts of acid before. I've never had something like this. These shrooms are crazy, man. Shrooms are honestly insane. A lot of people say to take shrooms, like if you're gonna do psychedelics for the first time, a lot of people say take shrooms over acid. I completely disagree with that, honestly. Like honestly, I disagree with that, and I'm not saying whether you should take one or the other first. They react different on everybody. Not one person's going to react to shrooms the same way as another person, but in my experience, I do not agree with that statement at all. Um, but anyways, so I start having this feeling. I'm just like, oh my god, like I've never ever felt this way before. So We get about halfway done with another lap, and keep in mind this circle's pretty. It's a pretty long walk to get around this whole circle. You know, it goes around the whole baseball field. It's a long walk, and so we get about halfway done with this one lap, and we're walking by this fence, and I am fucked up, guys. I don't know what's going on. Like all I know is like I'm just focused on walking and keeping myself mentally sane. I don't know how I held it together during this trip because this was something else, guys. I don't know how I held it together. And then we're walking, and there's a fence right beside of us. Right, there's a fence and a house. So we're just walking because this circle, it's got like houses all around it too. So it's kind of like a small little neighborhood. And I'm walking, and this fence is right here. So we're just, you know, strolling along, and this dog just runs up out of nowhere. This dog just runs up to the fence and starts barking as loud as possible. Keep in mind, my hearing is completely distorted, and this sounds a lot louder than it probably was, like insanely louder. I looked at that dog and I jumped, and I probably screamed like a damn girl. I do not know. I can't quite recall if I did or not, just because of how intoxicated I was. But it was really something else. It was horrifying. You know, this was like a bulldog. You know, it wasn't no small dog. It was like a bulldog or something like that, a pit bull or something. I was tripping so hard and having so many visuals, I couldn't quite make out what kind of dog it was. But it was one of those dogs. Um, and that scared. It even scared the shit out of Caleb. He really wasn't even feeling it yet. So I knew. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then very shortly after that, we ended up walking by these, I think, two people. We didn't know who they were. You know, we just walked by trying to act as sober as possible. And at this point, I was seeing. I hadn't mentioned this effect I was having yet because I was going to save it for this part right here. This at this point, I was seeing like God, like literal like God figures. Like it was 2.5 grams of shrooms. I'd never expected this. These were some insanely potent shrooms. Like these were not to be played around with. We did not expect this at all. But I think the strain on the shrooms was, I think they were called like Jedi mind fucks or something like that. I don't know if I think that's a real strain. We got these from a really reliable source. The person like grows them, so I'm pretty sure they're accurate. But I'm not going to sit here and say that they are 100% because I don't fully know. But apparently the strain was called Jedi mind fucks, and I just remember seeing God figures everywhere. I would try to look away from it. It was really weird. I didn't see multiple ones. Like it was like I seen multiple ones, but it was the same figure. It wasn't like different figures. It was basically this guy. It was like a yellow. He was all yellow, and he didn't have eyes, but he had a weird looking kind of rectangularish nose that expanded a little bit towards the bottom. You know, no eyes, no nothing like that. Just a kind of an oval of a head, a body, and then just that nose. And I was looking on the sidewalk. I was seeing like three of him, like in a kind of like a path, like one right in front of my eyes, and two to the side. And I would try to look away. I'd look to the grass, and it would do the same thing through the grass. I was like, wow, this is really, this is fucking insane. Like I didn't know what to do with myself. I really just I didn't know what to do at that point. And so I thought after we walked by those people, I thought we had walked a very long ways. Like also my time is very off. Like I don't know how long things have gone by and things like that. So I thought we had walked way past these people. And we probably literally took like 4 or 5 steps, if that, past these people. And I just yell out, like I think I'm talking quiet too at this point, right? Like I don't quite realize how loud I'm talking. And I look at Caleb and I said, "Bro," I guess I shouted. I thought I was being quiet, but apparently not. I look at Caleb and said, "Bro, I'm seeing fucking God figures everywhere. This is the craziest shit ever." And I just hear laughter dying behind me. I turn around and these people are dying. They're about dead on the floor. I'm like, "Oh my God." I was like, at that point, I was like, wow. Like, it really all hit me on how fucked up that I really was right then and there at this point. This was probably the peak. Well, maybe not. I don't know if this is quite the peak, but we were pretty almost. If we weren't there, we were almost there at the peak. Let me tell you. And these people, they just start dying behind me, and I'm like, I just had this deep realization and just embarrassment, and I'm like, oh my god. I look at Caleb and I'm like, was I not whispering? Like, I look at him, apparently still yelling. I'm like, was I not whispering? Caleb's like, no, dude, you're fucking yelling. Caleb's still not feeling them at this point. I don't know what the hell's going on with Caleb, but he is still not feeling them. He's like, no, bro, you're fucking like screaming damn near. And then I start whispering, and it sounds the same, but I'm actually whispering. I'm like, am I whispering now? Like, this was just, this was just one hell of a fucking trip, man. This was just, oh my goodness. He's like, yeah, you're whispering now, but back there you were literally yelling, and the two, like my whispering and my shouting sounded the same to me. Like I really had no idea. So I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know what to think. So we definitely we don't want to walk past those people again. So there's this on the circle there's this gazebo, and it goes like 5 steps up onto a platform, and you're sitting around it, and it's got a bench that goes all the way around it. It's got like a tall roof on top of it with some wooden what are those called? I'm having a brain fart. I don't know. They're just wooden support beams. Yeah, support beams. And so me and Caleb, we go up there and we take a seat, and I'm staring off into the distance, and the I think this right here was my peak. I think this is where I had hit my peak, because this didn't happen long after we had walked by those people, and I'm looking straight, and this gazebo, I start to see the gazebo swing, like tilt up to the right, and like I can feel it too. This gazebo's tilting to the right, and the grass in front of me starts tilting to the left. So it's like I'm on a swing or something, and I can literally feel this motion, and like I feel the gazebo just slowly tilting to the right and like kind of like shifting upwards, and the grass in front of me tilting to the left, and also like kind of starting to go like up as well. And I'm like, oh my god! And I have to shake my head and get out of that trance, and I did successfully get out of that. That was fucking insane. And keep in mind, I'm still having all those symptoms that I talked about before. I'm hearing computer glitching noises. Everything's distorted. My thoughts still feel like they're coming from freaking 2 feet above my head. I'm still seeing that same exact God figure all around this gazebo. And then I start looking around like between the support beams, and there's these little like purple electricity like bolts like shooting in between each beam. Like they're just going crazy, almost like a vortex wall or something. I don't know how to explain it. Almost like when you turn on the electricity trap in like a Call of Duty Zombies or something, and all the zombies like try to walk through it, but they get zapped. It's almost exactly like that, except like not as much electricity. It's just like a few beams just shooting back and forth between these wooden support beams, and I'm like, wow, this is really going for a turn. And Gabe and Trey end up coming up there, and they're like, "How you doing, boys?" And somehow, even though I'm mentally having an awful time. I'm having a fucking terrible time mentally. I'm not mentally stable at this point at all. Like nothing is going my way. I'm trying. Like I'm sitting here thinking. I'm like, Brian, you did a substance. You will eventually come down. You will. I'm just sitting there thinking this in my head, and it's just not working at all. Like I do like I do still realize at this time that I am intoxicated, that this isn't like how I'm always gonna be. At least I was hoping that. And it was just fucking insane. And Gabe and Trey, they finally come up, how you doing? I look at them, like, oh, I'm doing good, boys, trying to act like I'm doing just fine when really I'm absolutely not. And on this gazebo, it's starting to hit Caleb now. Caleb's feeling them now, and he he looks down at the girl, and he was like, "Holy shit, is this how shrooms feel?" And he lets out this weird sounding laugh, and we all just start dying. Um, we were like, "Yep, that's how they feel." He just described it. And this weird shit happens, so they start having like some type of baseball or softball game or something over there in this fields, and we're just sitting on this gazebo, and we're watching. And this fucking car, this car just zooms into the fucking grass and does like a whole fucking 180, like drift mode 180 in this grass and just parks. And we're like, what the fuck? We were all just staring at this, like, what the fuck was that? And we keep in mind, it's probably 2.5 or so hours have gone by. Maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes have gone by since we first got there. We were like, what the fuck is going on? And not too long after that, I was just still sitting there, just like, fuck me, fuck my life. What have I done to myself? Um, type stuff. And we eventually leave. We hop back in Trey's car, and I'm still fucked. I'm still fucked up as you can fucking get, damn near. And I'm just sitting in the back seat beside Caleb, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm finally in the car. We're finally on our way back to Gabe's house, or excuse me, Gabe's cul-de-sac, which is at his house. I don't know why I said that, but and so we're driving and we're listening. Trey puts on some funky music for us, and this lifted my mood a bit, my mood a little bit. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I'm sitting there. I'm finally my peak's starting to fade away, and I'm starting to come down just a little bit, and I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. Like I'm having a little bit better of a time. And I'm sitting there and I'm staring at Caleb's shirt, and it's just got these crazy, just like patterns all over it. It's waving. It's got these like um, almost hieroglyphic type patterns on it. It was insane. Oh, actually, this was we actually when we got in Trey's car, we actually ended up going to Taco Bell before we went to Gabe's house. So we stopped at Taco Bell, and Trey, he fucking awful parking job, awful. Like half of our car was out in the damn road. We don't know what the fuck Trey was doing at this point. But me and Caleb, I can't quite remember if Gabe went in or not, but I know for a fact me and Caleb stayed in the car. Probably pretty smart of us for how fucked up we were. We were absolutely out of it. Trey comes back with his food, and then we go on back to Gabe's house. Um, so we finally get to Gabe's. We get out of the car, and I'm standing there, and I'm just staring at the pavement, and there's still just patterns everywhere. I'm feeling a lot better though. Keep that in mind. I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like at this point I've came down a good bit at this point, but I'm still feeling it really well. But at the point I'm at this moment is the point I would have liked to been at my peak instead of how fucked up I really got. Because at this point my thoughts feel normal again, and I'm not having this crazy like overthinking, just oh my god, like what is going on. I'm just looking, enjoying the view, just looking at patterns in the pavement and the awesomeness of the trees of this little kind of like woods area patch behind the cul-de-sac, just looking at all that cool stuff, like looking at ants crawl across the road and things like that. I was at a very calm state at this point. I was just so much relief was just over my body. Like, my God, I can't believe this is finally over. It's finally said and done with. I'm so thankful. Um, and we just chilled there. It was the four of us, and eventually Gabe's sister pulled up. Some other girl I didn't know who she was pulled up. We all just ended up, just bringing some chairs down from Trey and Gabe's house, because they were neighbors. And we just ended up sitting there, and just enjoying the rest of our time, staring off, looking at patterns and things like that. And Caleb, like, I was so messed. Caleb had already felt the trip, went through his peak, and kind of came down. I don't think he was really sober yet, but I was still like, I felt them way before Caleb, and I was still seeing patterns and things like this in the concrete, and just crazy. It was just an insane day. Um, but yeah, that's basically it. We just chilled there, talked for a long time, probably stayed there till some point at night. I'd pretty much all the way came down. I still had a little bit of an afterglow, but no visuals, not really any noticeable body high. And I ended up heading home. I took Caleb home. He lived really close to Gabe's house, literally like not even a 2 minute drive. So not that I recommend driving after you've taken shrooms on the same day. It's probably wasn't the smartest thing of me, but I was pretty much came down, and I was really experienced with substances, not justifying the fact that I technically drove on shrooms, but even though I was pretty much fully came down. But yeah. And then I drove home, made it home safe, got Caleb home safe, everything went well, and then yeah, that was it. So, if y'all enjoyed that story, please drop a like, comment, and a sub. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to, I feel like this would be a pretty cool idea for the channel. You know, if y'all want more of these, please let me know. I would be happy to make more of these. I have plenty. I've written down a bunch of crazy stories in my notes, and I got some really good stories to tell. You know, I have a lot of them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, make sure to sub, like the video, you know, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Y'all be safe out there.